right, to the left, to the left, to the left, shuffle to the right, now wobble with it, 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 go!
Hello guys, welcome back to another video with me today. Today we will be in this video showing how I make our strawberry cupcake candle as we are remaking the old ones. I'm sorry guys, in the video Robin did wake up fairly as this was one day off from work, from nursing, and he decided to hang out with us for a minute. I decided to get him some fruit snacks here so I can continue the video, as he will show out periodically through the beginning of the video, so if you guys can bear with me. So before I get started, here you will see me clear up my space and you will see me begin a custom order that I got from a customer of Dick Popsicle candles. She wanted a combination between white, black, and then two white and black blue ball candle. So I'm just gonna, if you give me a second, I'm just gonna fast forward through and go through those steps while trying to calm Ramen down. I wanted to show everyone what our old cupcake candle looked like. This is the old strawberry cupcake candle, and if you're able to stick around to the end of the video, you will see as we extended our knowledge how our remake of our cupcake candle came out and the difference. So here, the first thing I do is start by molding our strawberries that's going to go in our cupcake candle. You want to do this step first, being that when you get to piping and adding the frosting, that you can just easily stick your molds into the frosting. So start by getting some wax, as I do not need a lot of wax for this particular part of the candle, just because we're going to be using molds and they're fairly small. So I'm going to just grab some wax, look for my coloring, which is the dye that I'm going to use, which in this case will be red. And then I'm going to add some dye, and then you'll see me add some fragrance as well, which in this case will be our strawberry fragrance. During our stirring process, again, I like to let everyone know that you don't want to create air bubbles, as it will affect the way that your candle do burn. So you do want to be careful how you stir your wax. And again, I have said this during many other videos before, during your stirring process, you do want to make sure when adding color to white wax or soy wax, it will show up lighter than what it appears. So if you do want to achieve a darker look, you will have to use more product. If you want a lighter look, you would have to use lesser product. So now I'm going to go ahead and start pouring our molds. You want to let this sit for a good 10 to 20 minutes, sometimes depending on how much of the mold is or how big or the size of a mold. You do want to let it sit longer. Some take up to anywhere to 24 hours overnight. Some is done in like 10 to 5 minutes. Others are an hour, 30 minutes to an hour. It all depends on the mold itself. In this case, this one took about 10 to 15 minutes. So I'm just going to sit it aside, and I'm going to clear out my jar, and I'm going to add some fresh wax in. Oh, there goes Robin again, guys. Now that I am done with cleaning my jar, I'm just gonna add some more wax. Here I'm gonna lay out our cupcake molds. I'm gonna do about 10, but I'm gonna do 2 extra here in the video just because it's easier to do when you're making cupcakes, because you always want to have one extra to burn to make sure that they're burned properly, and you always want to have one when it comes to photo shoot and editing and merchandising. So I do make 12, but I am making 10. Now that I have my wax and my cupcake molds out, I need to find my dye that I need to work with. In this case, when I was on live during this recording, I realized that I was limited on brown dye. So in this case, in order to make a golden muffin, I had to use 3 colors. I had to mix the colors yellow, red, and brown together in order to achieve gold. So you will see me grab those 3 colors, and I will start with my yellow. I'm gonna drop about 28 drops of yellow, about 2 or 3 of red, and then 2 of brown. You don't want the red or the brown to overpower your yellow, as this would change the depth of the color that you're trying to achieve. Once the red dye is added, you will see the color in the mixture change just slightly a little bit. Each time you add a color, you will see your color change. Again, just like in the beginning of the video, anytime when you're mixing, remember your wax is white. So anytime you add a color, it's gonna show lighter than what it appears. So to achieve a darker look, which you will see me add more dye, you have to add more product. And I will apologize to everyone, as my second camera, if you have been here before, everyone knows that I use a second camera. The second camera is currently down. So in order to show you guys a closer up look, I will clip that in as well after you guys watch me from the front view. I will show the side view. After adding all my colors and mixing in my fragrance, this is the color that we achieved. I'm gonna go ahead and just start pouring and filling up my molds. This part used to be very hard in the beginning. Before, with the old candle, I used to take the wick and the wick sticker and stick it inside the mold and then fill them up. But I have a new tool. I have expanded my equipment so much since then, so I found a very easier way. I have a wicker tool and a carving tool, which helps me, which I will show you in the next clip, in the next step, exactly how I set the wick, and it's so much easier. So it used to take me about 2 hours, sometimes a whole day, just to wick my candles, but this literally only took 5 to 30 minutes, which is a lot easier when you have a lot of product or a lot of orders. Here I had ran out of wax, so right now I'm just remaking and running through those previous steps and making my wax to make more product so I can fill up the other cupcake molds. Guys, I promise I'm not cracking up. You guys see me talking to myself because not only am I cueing Robin because he still didn't go to sleep, but I am currently live during this recording, so I am talking to live, as live does have a lot of questions when they do catch me live. Now that we have filled up our cupcake molds, the next step is a little time consuming. I'm going to fill up our jar with some more wax and let it sit and harden. As you can see, I'm explaining to chat until we get this consistency. That way it helps us so we can get ready to pipe. This is how we're gonna frost our cupcakes. So you're gonna fill up your jar with some wax. You're gonna add your fragrance. Once you add your fragrance, you're going to start stirring and mixing your wax and your fragrance. This case, my frosting is gonna be white with the smell of strawberry. Other cases, if you do want to add color or a two-tone fragrance, you would have to make 2 separate batches. One would have to be the color of your choice, and the fragrance, in this case, I'm just doing it simple. I'm using one color for my frosting, so I'm just gonna use white wax, so I don't have to add any coloring to the wax. I just add fragrance, let it sit to the side, and then I will show you guys exactly the consistency that we're trying to get. You should be able to squish it. It shouldn't be hard. It shouldn't be too runny.